Hello and welcome to another episode of Autocar India Quick News. Coming up over the next few minutes is your weekly snapshot to all the latest from the world of automobiles. But before we begin, do hit subscribe to the Autocar India channel and press the bell icon to stay notified on all our latest uploads. It was an exciting week with the unveil of some action-packed cars. Let's take a look at the Hyundai i20 N-Line. Hyundai's N performance brand has debuted in India with the i20 N-Line. The N in the name is derived from Namyang, where Hyundai's R&D center is located in South Korea, and the Nürburgring test track in Germany, where Hyundai's performance-oriented cars are tested and fine-tuned. Unlike full-blown N models that get serious performance upgrades, N-Line versions like the i20 N-Line are focused on a sportier look with only few mechanical enhancements. The i20 N-Line gets sportier bumpers and grille with additional front and side skirts. There are new alloy wheels, dual-tip exhaust pipes and red accents all around. On the inside, the i20 N-Line gets leatherette seats with a checkered flag design along with red stitching. There's a bespoke N steering wheel with paddle shifters in the DCT variant, N-branded gear lever and sporty metal pedals as the key highlights. The i20 N-Line will only be offered with the 120 horsepower 1-litre turbo petrol engine, either with a 6-speed IMT or 7-speed DCT. Hyundai has stiffened the suspension and retuned steering for better handling response from this sportier hatchback. The car will launch on September 2nd and the bookings have opened for 25,000 rupees. Tata Motors is all set to punch the competition with its first micro SUV. The latest SUV from Tata Motors is christened the Punch, and it will be the brand's new micro SUV based on the Alpha architecture that would sit below the Nexon and would be aggressively priced too. The Tata Punch adopts a styling similar to the Harrier and Safari, with the split headlamp setup being the key attraction up front. Squared wheel arches, an upright stance and heavy cladding all around lend an SUV look. The Punch will get a 7-inch touchscreen, a powered digital instrument cluster and HVAC controls similar to the Altroz. The Tata Punch is expected to be powered by the 1.2-litre naturally aspirated petrol that develops 83 horsepower or a turbocharged version that would put out 110 horses. Transmission options will include a 5-speed manual and AMT. The car is slated for launch this festive season. After teasing the model last week, Kia India has unveiled the Seltos X Line for India. With the launch due in September, Kia India has showcased the Seltos X Line, which gets cosmetic updates similar to Tata's Dark Edition range. The X Line wears a new matte graphite paint shade with several gloss black and orange accents all around. The grille gets a matching matte graphite finishing along with the piano black frame, and an orange lip adorns the front skid plate. Striking elements towards the side are the larger 18-inch alloy wheels with orange hubcaps and an orange strip running at the bottom of the rear bumper as well. There's an X-Line badge on the tailgate. On the inside, the major difference over the top-spec GT line trims is the Indigo Pera seats finished in leatherette material with honeycomb pattern and grey stitching. There are no mechanical changes, and the X-Line will be offered with the 140 horsepower 1.4-litre turbo petrol engine and 115 horsepower 1.5-litre diesel, only with the 7-speed DCT or 6-speed AT options respectively. Mercedes-Benz has introduced its 12th AMG model in India, the AMG GLE 63 S Coupe. Mercedes-Benz has launched the AMG GLE 63 S Coupe in India, priced at 2.07 crore rupees ex-showroom. The new AMG model comes powered by a 4-litre twin-turbocharged V8 petrol engine paired with a 48-volt starter alternator. The engine develops 612 horsepower and 850 Nm of peak torque and gets an additional 22 horsepower and 250 Nm boost from the hybrid system. Power is sent to all 4 wheels via the 4MATIC Plus system and a 9-speed automatic gearbox. The AMG GLE 63 S Coupe gets air suspension as standard and an active roll stabilization system based on 48-volt technology. The SUV gets a bespoke grille and pre-styled front end with a larger splitter finished in chrome. There are raised power domes on the bonnet and it rides on 22-inch alloy wheels. On the inside, there are AMG specific elements such as an AMG spec steering wheel with aluminium paddle shifters and Napa leather seats. Customers can also opt for AMG elements in carbon fiber. The SUV goes up against the Lamborghini Urus, Porsche Cayenne Turbo and Audi RS Q8 in India. And in some scoop news of the week, Maruti Suzuki is working on the heavily refreshed version of the Baleno, which is spotted testing on the roads. Maruti Suzuki India has begun road testing of its updated Baleno hatchback, which is expected to launch sometime around February 2022. While it is not an entirely new model and the silhouette remains the same, there are heavy changes to the dashboard and likely to the front and rear fenders as well. The car is likely to get a new pair of LED tail lamps and a new front end with differently styled LED headlamps, grille and front bumper. The major changes are supposedly inside, with a completely redesigned dashboard and a large floating touchscreen infotainment system. It could offer wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto too. The central aircon vents would now be positioned horizontally just above the new cockpit-style AC controls. More changes will include a larger colored display for the instrument cluster and a new flat-bottom steering wheel. The Baleno will remain mechanically unchanged and continue to be offered with an 83 horsepower 1.2-litre 4-cylinder petrol or a 90 horsepower version with 12-volt mild hybrid technology. It will get a 5-speed manual or CVT as the transmission options. Finally, Mahindra has revealed prices of the top-spec version of the Bolero Neo SUV. Mahindra has announced prices of the top-end N10 optional variant of the Bolero Neo, which is being offered at 10.69 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi. With this, the Bolero Neo is available in 4 trims, starting from 8.48 lakh rupees for the base N4 variant. The biggest and only differentiating factor on the top-spec N10 optional trim is the mechanically locking rear differential that Mahindra calls the multi-terrain technology. It helps in slushy and slightly tricky off-road situations and marginally enhances the SUV's capabilities. The Bolero Neo gets LED DRLs, 15-inch alloy wheels and a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It comes powered by a 100 horsepower 1.5-litre 3-cylinder diesel engine mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox. Coming to two-wheelers now, TVS is all set to introduce the updated version of the Apache RR310. The updated TVS flagship is slated to launch on August 30th. The motorcycle is expected to get a revised headlamp design. The company had recently updated the Apache RR310 with a TFT display, riding modes, new paint scheme and Michelin Road 5 tires. Moving to Yamaha, the company is apparently working to introduce a high-performance scooter in the Indian market, as it has homologated its Aerox 155 scooter in the country. The Yamaha Aerox is an interesting scooter with LED lighting, keyless operation, digital instrument cluster and 14-inch wheels. In overseas markets, it comes powered by a 155cc engine that produces 15.36 horsepower and 13.9 Nm of peak torque. The engine comes mated to a CVT drivetrain. If introduced in India, the Aerox 155 will compete against the Aprilia SXR 160 that manages 10.9 horsepower and 11.6 Nm of peak torque. The scooter could be priced around the 1.3 lakh rupees ex-showroom mark. And that's all the news we have this week. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next week with more news and more scoops from the exciting world of automobiles. Till then, keep enjoying Autocar India.